Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mobility Focus. I'm Jason and I'll be your host. Today I thought we'd talk about bicycles. You know me, I like to ride my bicycle. I love the fact that they are great transportation options for individuals trying to get around. Well, today we're going to talk about some of the aspects of riding a bicycle on either fixed route transportation or just in general. So one of the first things we're going to talk about are the ABC quick checklist on what you need to double check on before you take off on any adventure on your bicycle, whether or not you're commuting to work or just going out for fun. So today we'll talk about that. Okay, so the ABC quick check, that means tires and air pressure. Air. Then next we go to brakes, which you see right here, brakes, okay? Those brakes, make sure we can stop. And then the next thing is chains and cranks. We want to make sure that those things are ready to go. And then after that, quick releases. Are our quick releases tight, and other bolts and nuts on the bike as well too? Let's get into it. So you can remove air or you can add air to get the correct PSI, and your correct PSI will be on the sidewall of your tire. Then what you'll want to do is run your tire around just to make sure there's no cuts, punctures, or other debris in your tire. So there's a few reasons why we want to make sure that our bicycle tires are filled and ready to go. You already saw what it was like to double check your pounds per square inch, double check to ensure if there are any foreign objects inside the tire and so forth that we could check before we go for a ride. What we want to make sure that we do though as well is to ensure that they're properly filled. Being properly filled means you get an opportunity to be more efficient on your pedaling and getting around. You can get around a little easier. You can also have a little more control depending on how you like your bike to be. Whether or not I like my bike to have a lot of pressure in there because I'm riding on pavement most of the time. But for some people who are riding on looser dirt and everything, maybe just a little less pressure in there so they have more contact patch onto the ground. And then another thing is too, is if your tires are just too flat and they don't have enough pressure in there, you run the risk of doing something that's called pinch flats. You could roll over a curb, a rock, or anything like that that would cause your tire to pinch in on the inner tube and thus causing a flat. Especially while you're riding, that's not fun. So make sure that your tires, that you have double checked that your tires are ready to go, that all of their tread is good, that you've checked that they're right there on the rim just fine and everything, and you'll be good to go. You're going to want to make sure that your levers work fine and that the action of pulling the levers actually puts the pads on the wheel and stops the tire. You have just now saw me on the bicycle stopping, and then you might have even seen just a little cut video there of the actual brake mechanism working. It's really important that we find ways to ensure that we stop safely, and the way that we do that is to ensure that our brakes are always working. So in the ABC quick check, B stands for brakes. So you always got to make sure you check your brakes before you take off and enjoy that ride. Okay, so now we have come to the last part, which is the letter C. We're going to talk about the chains and the crank, or some people know them as the chains and even the pedals. The pedals are on the crank themselves, but we're going to be talking about these things right here. This is your chain, and this is the crank and the pedal. And it's important that we focus on this very much so, because as you're going to be getting out there and going and riding, it's a really important task to make sure that you take that last letter C and you check on those items right there, because there's nothing worse than riding your bike down the road and having one of those things slip off, like a chain, or even worse, a pedal. Be a bad day for you, and that's the last thing we want while you get out there and ride your bike. In order to keep your ride going and to keep it safe, you need to make sure that your chain is not too loose and is well oiled. Check on all your sprockets as well to make sure that they're in good shape. Keeping an eye on your pedals and the crankshaft down there that hold the pedals is incredibly important. Well, you want to make sure there are screws right here and screws on the backside here of the pedal, where those need to be tightened. They need to be double checked and ensure that they are on there good. You want to make sure that you double check that and make sure that you're running down the road the right way with safety. You need to have the confidence in knowing that that pedal is going to stay on. Keep it safe, Make sure you double check those items. We're now at the end of the ABC quick check. And one of the important parts of this quick check is to understand what quick releases are. And we'll go ahead and talk to you a little bit about what quick releases are. But essentially, they're an easy way for you to be able to take your wheel set off the bike without having to use a bunch of tools. And we'll talk about what it's like to get those on there. And actually, there's a little secret that we have to determine whether or not we have tightened the quick set just enough to make it safe. So you'll notice right here, there is this is called a skewer that goes in through to the hub of the wheel. And in this little notch right here is actually a friction bolt. And what we want to do is when we're putting that on, we want to make sure that it's tightened enough that it would leave an imprint in our hand. Now you might not be able to see that very good on the camera, but there is a slight indentation in my hand of the skewer. So you want to make sure that it's tight enough, again, to be safe and to get you down the road. Thank you very much for watching this video on the ABC Quick Check to ensure that your bicycles are safe while you get out there and ride. It is important that I show this to you because I want you to get out there and ride. I want you to go ride our buses and take your bicycle with you as a part of that trip as well. So thank you very much for watching this. Please ensure that you like and subscribe to this video, to this channel, so that we can get more videos out to more people. It's important for them to be able to hear the same information as well. And you know, YouTube and its algorithms, it sometimes gets it, sometimes it doesn't. So we want to make sure that your like and your subscribe is there, and so people can watch this. So anyways, thank you very much. Remember to stay safe out there by being seen, wear high vis, especially when riding bicycles. Want to make sure that you're safe out there and everyone can see you. So anyways, have a great day, take care. We'll see you around for the next episode.